Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Sydney Sweeney because everybody's talking about Sydney Sweeney all the time. So we're going to talk about this interview she gave with GQ and
done by a woman, by the way.
Done by a woman. This smarmy woman tried to get her and tried to.
She's such a little biatch too, how she does it.
And she tried to give her an opportunity to apologize for the backlash to her Great Jeans ad. Now, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, American Eagle did an advertising campaign with Sydney Sweeney, and the whole campaign was, she's got great jeans. And then people were trying to say, oh, it's about eugenics and Nazi propaganda over a freaking jean
It was
commercial.
about a joke that she's got great jeans because she's pretty. They could have used anybody else that was pretty in the same position, but they would have been okay with that as long as they weren't white. Let's be honest here.
Yes.
It's all about racism, but it's not the racism that they care about at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think American Eagle, they sold a ton of.
They did, because the backlash, it just went like Hogwarts Legacy. It Streisand affected it, and they sold. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about the controversy, but they're trying to drum it up again. They're like, she was given an opportunity to apologize for it, and she wouldn't do it. Why the hell would she? You have nothing to apologize for. That's actually the worst thing you can do when these people try to get you, and you can tell. We'll watch a bit of the interview. You can see it in her face that she's like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, she's like, I see you, bitch. And that's how I'd be like. I'm not saying that's what she was thinking. That's what I'd be thinking. But this woman clearly is deliberately trying to be pushing it. And it's like, she doesn't owe you any apology. She didn't do anything wrong. But you, on the other hand, are acting like a complete swarmy twit. I was going to say something else. I had to hold myself back.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So let's watch the clip first, and then we'll look at these articles because people want us to cut to the chase. We'll go to Bluesky because Bluesky is all like Nazis everywhere.
Well, the Blue Sky thinks they think there's Nazis everywhere on any given day, no matter what. And of course there is, because most of them act like it. But they talk about other people, but they're the ones behaving as such.
Here we have a dude. Sydney Sweeney says Nazis buy jeans too. Well, let's. Nazis sure do love Sydney Sweeney.
Because remember, guys, anybody who doesn't agree with them politically and they have the same ideology as them is automatically a Nazi, even though that's not what Nazis mean.
I have to look at this. Oh boy, I like Animal. I'll give you that. All right, let's take a look at this. I mean, that face says everything right there.
She just looks like a.
All right, so let's take a look at the clip here and see what's going on.
You know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of people like, you can't have pretty girls in video games because it makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's this whole thing is. But she knows what's up. All right,
you can see on her face. She's like,
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority.
Look at that. She's like, oh my God.
Well, it's funny to me because the girl asked the question, he won't look at her, looks everywhere but at her because she knows she's asking something that's really crap. And then she doesn't take her eyes off her. She's just like,
Yeah, she's like, I know what you're doing.
Genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Basically, I don't want to talk about this, so keep going. And then she won't stop.
Yeah, it went on for like 3 minutes, and she kept trying to press her to talk more about it. She's like, yeah, it was kind of crazy. She's like, I didn't anticipate the backlash. I didn't anticipate the president getting involved. I didn't, and they're like, do you want to maybe apologize or something for that? The white supremacy thing? It's like, what the fuck? This was a jeans ad.
She kept saying, why? But she doesn't. It wasn't just a jeans ad. That's what she kept saying. It's just a jeans ad. I like jeans. I wear jeans every day. I did a jeans ad. It's just, and I'm sorry, just a few years ago, like 10, 20 years ago, this would not have been a big deal. This would have been an ad we would have seen back in the 80s or 90s easily. Because the joke is, oh, she's pretty. She has good genes. It has nothing to do with her being blonde. And eugenics. It has nothing to do with eugenics. I think, like I said, you could but any person in there that was an actor or actress that was pretty said, I have good genes. It wasn't white, and it would have still been the same thing. It was, you guys are projecting a lot of shit into it that is not there. Because your constant search for outrage to be mad about just so you have people watching your interview.
Yeah, I wonder how much of the cancel culture just in general is a bunch of miserable cat moms, single cat moms
there
are
are
trying
good,
to cancel.
nice cat moms too.
Yeah, I know,
I'm just saying, I am a proud cat mom.
Yes, you're a cat parent.
I'm
but
a dog
there's
mom too.
A lot of miserable people, and it's like we ran into this in the comic book scene. There was just a lot of very miserable people who would look for any and all opportunities to drag other people down because they themselves felt insecure about something, whether it was your art. Now we're seeing it with the whole AI cancel culture shit that's going on. Before that, it was like your politics. Before that, it was, this or that or whatever. Oh, you're a sellout. And it's these kinds of smarmy ass people.
Let's just flip the script, okay? So let's say there was a different person. It was somebody who was ethnic that was in the commercial, and then they were interviewing them, and they're talking about, well, what do you think about the fact that you were promoting your this racism stuff in your commercial, or you're saying that your race was superior genetically? You're like, that's a racist thing to say. How dare you say that? But they can say it to her because they're trying to project something that's not there into what it is. And I guarantee you, if they weren't thinking eugenics, they never would have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a joke about her being pretty.
Let's go check out these articles and see what people are saying. She just looks like the type, you can tell she's like, I'm pretending to be your friend, but I'm really trying to get you. I'm really trying to, and you could see it on her face, like Sweeney's face. She's like,
but the other girl wouldn't look at her when she was asking the questions. Sweeney never took her eyes off of her. Like, go ahead. I dare you.
Go ahead. Yep. All right, so this is coming from the New York Post. Sydney Sweeney praised for response to American Eagle jeans ad backlash. She's being praised online for her reaction to the woke mob outrage over her American Eagle jeans ad. Sweeney recently chatted with GQ and refused to apologize after left-wing critics compared the retailer's sultry ad to Nazi propaganda.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was the dumbest damn thing.
You decide that it is doesn't mean that was the intention. That's what I'm so tired of. It's just like some dipshit, usually some media dipshit, decides that something is something it's not. And then they run with it, get all their friends in there and run with it with their friends too. And then they try to present this narrative that isn't true. And no matter how many times you lie about it, it doesn't make it true. Just because that's what you think you want to hear. It doesn't mean it's true.
She said, I did a jeans ad. The reaction definitely was a surprise, but I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and t-shirt every day of my life. So yeah, it makes sense. You're right. Sweeney also said it was surreal that Donald Trump weighed in on the discourse, but clarified that she mostly ignored the controversy because she was busy working. She was filming the third season of Euphoria. It said when the reporter asked Sweeney about addressing the claims the ad promoted genetic superiority, she had a blunt response, which was, I'm not answering that. When I have something to say, I'll say it.
Yeah, basically, they kept trying to get her to say, because she's like, if I think there's something I need to say, I'll say it on my own terms. I'm not going to do it with you, basically.
So they're basically like, on X, everybody's like, hey, she nailed it. The question was pretentious.
It was pretentious.
She gave it the up yours it deserved. Good for Sydney Sweeney. Her answer was perfect. It's actually so nice to see someone not bow down to the bullshit. It was an ad for jeans. She has nothing to apologize for. Yeah, it was a really stupid controversy. Like these kinds of ads, if you watched MTV in the 90s, we saw them all the time. Mm-hmm. Like this was normal fashion advertising going back to Brooke Shields, who frankly was too young to be advertised like this, but that's a whole nother discussion. But I mean, God, I'm sitting here like this is nothing compared to, I remember the Calvin Klein underwear ads that they used to run on MTV, and it was really pretty, like they were kind of sleazy because they had a bunch of teenagers like in a dirty ass basement and it looked like they're doing like an amateur thing or something. And they're like, tell me about what you're wearing. And they were up against like they were on like shag carpet and the whole wood panel. It was really kind of unsettling. People kind of like, whatever. They just kind of expected it, right? But now in 2025, this very, very mild campaign by comparison is a huge problem somehow.
But again, it's just about, even when you read what she said in the ad, it was about, genetics, not eugenics, genetics being passed down. And basically the joke is she's got good genes because she's pretty. And like I said, you could have put anybody else who was pretty in there and it would have been the same joke.
Yeah. Yeah. She remained silent about the controversy until the interview where she acknowledged the American Eagle's stock soared 38%.
Yeah, there you go.
Ad. Well, that's just it. At the end of the day, that's what matters. But yeah, Bluesky, man, they were like, it's the year of the chuds, guys. And then you got BuzzFeed, which is somehow still alive. I don't understand how BuzzFeed is still alive, but even more outraged. Even more outrage over Sydney Sweeney's dismissive comments about the American Eagle eugenics backlash after seeing new footage of her
only on Bluesky. Most people were just
Bluesky.
like, you know, she's like, if I want to address it, I'll address it. But I don't want to address it here because you're trying to corner me. Basically, was what she wasn't going to put up with it.
No.
And more people need to give it back to journalists. And the Bluesky. So Bluesky most affected.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah, yeah, whatever. Responding to the video on X, a viral tweet that has been liked more than 102,000 times reads, "Hey, so you want to just disavow white supremacy real quick? No. The decade of the chud." Another person said,
it was never about white supremacy. You guys, so you want to stop making up bullshit real quick? I'm so tired of this. You guys are projecting your own idiocy onto things and then saying it's about something it's not because you decided. And it's like and they've said repeatedly that wasn't the case, but you decided it has to be true because you want attention. And that's the whole thing's about. You want attention. I'm just about white supremacy. It was not about white supremacy. It never was.
Interesting. This person took theirs down. They said, Sydney Sweeney has the mentality of an ignorant white woman who doesn't care about anything unless it directly affects her and is gross and uneducated. So
that's the other one they try to use is you're uneducated.
You're uneducated. Educate yourself.
No, she educated the journalist, and now they're mad about it.
Yeah, you know, this, again, would have been a non-controversy, 10, 20 years ago. And I think what's going on is these people had control of the media. They had control of the narrative, and now they don't. And they
wonder why they're getting fired.
Hugely mad about it.
Because they're going to send you out there to cover, pop culture stuff, not about this. And most of the people it's been gone. No one's cared about it in like a while now, and they're trying to bring it back in.
Yeah. It's so freaking stupid. But no, I think her answer was the correct one. I think more people need to push back against because these journalists try to trap you. They try to trick you. They try to get you.
What's going to happen is these celebrities are not going to do interviews with you anymore.
No, that's exactly. Actually, one of the greatest moments I saw was when Robert Downey Jr. basically walked out of an interview because the guy kept pressing him on something. He said, "I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk." It was a personal question. It was like his drug abuse and his dad and all this other stuff. And he's like, "Are we going to talk about the movie, or are you going to try to pretend like you're Barbara Walters here? Like, we're talking about the movie." And he was okay about it at first. He's like, "Look, you can ask any movie related question, but my personal life, I don't want to talk about it in this interview." The guy kept pressing. He's like, "Okay, I'm done." Took the mic off. He walked out. And
yeah, well, I don't blame him. And they're there to do a thing. But if you can't, abide by basic, common courtesy, then they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you a comment. And she did answer your questions by saying, if I have something to say about it, I'll say something about it. And because you guys decided it was something it wasn't. That was your decision to do it. Like I said, if it had been any other person that was a different ethnicity, would have been racist then. They have good genes. Oh, no, just because they're saying that they have good genes because they're pretty. It's because she's blonde and blue eyes. I think she has blue eyes, does she? I don't know. Just because of that, they're like, it's eugenics. Like, oh, kindly get fucked. Beyonce's not really blonde. Oh, my God, guys.
Oh, my God, it's cultural appropriation. And she's dressed like Dolly Parton, too. What's going on with that? What is up with all the shopping links? Like, I'm going through this. I'm like, is this how desperate BuzzFeed and Yahoo are? Like, look at this. Have you ever seen this many shopping links in an article ever? It's all shopping links. I was trying to find the comments.
Well, it's interesting because some of the stuff I was looking for, like the slow cooker and stuff on the internet. But I walked into a Hallmark store yesterday. And all of a sudden, when I got home, I started getting all these Hallmark ads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't talk about it. I just walked into a store.
Look at this. There are more ads for shit than there are. Oh my God, that's insane. It's one big, just scroll on every damn article.
We're going to talk about another video, how this political activism, masquerading as journalism is going for people. And it's not going very well.
No.
And they're having a hissy fit. That's a different video.
Yeah, but I think they're getting desperate now because nobody's reading their shit. So they're like, oh, shopping links. buy this, buy that, buy jeans. You want, but yeah, they have no problem putting links into the jeans. It's like, damn, dude. But yeah, what they're doing now, the new trick to get the page views up, just so you know, like all these websites, they basically do an auto load, which is when you get to the bottom of an article, it loads another article immediately. Even if you don't mean to read that next article, it still counts as a view.
It counts as a click, yeah.
Yeah, and it refreshes the ads. And I've seen other sites trying to like auto load the ads. Now they're just loading up everything with shopping links. Like they're trying very, very hard to stay in business. I mean, BuzzFeed especially was like, yeah, our business model's Amazon affiliate links. It's like, come on, guys. You got to do better than this. I think this is GQ trying to stay relevant. This might be the kiss of death for them. I don't know. We're going to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.